Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What an epic first map of this third quarterfinal it was. Mirage certainly delivered on all fronts. So did Astralis, but not the same story there for FaZe. They looked quite weak, in fact. Some of the key names just really not turning up. That was the FaZe map pick. And Nico, Rain, just not there. I would say the MVP was actually Carrigan for them. Guardians, good moments as well. But overall, that's not the FaZe that's going to be getting through to the semis.
Certainly not. And on the other side of the coin, Astralis, everyone played well. Device was phenomenal. Dupree was playing exceptionally well. We had moments from every single player on the roster.
Yep.
So you go through into Nuke now. If things stay the same, I cannot see a way that FaZe come out victorious.
On Nuke as well, it's a map FaZe are generally pretty good at, but I don't know how much time they've had to prepare with Exist. He's actually playing pretty well, I'll give him that. Some of the rounds they did pick up were backed from his great play towards a connector. We remember that round, some fantastic shots coming in. Looks like he's in good form right now, but the team certainly not. They need to pull up their socks here, and it's not going to get any easier. Mirage is their ticket to the semi-final, and it didn't really work out for them. They're going to have to hope a poor game comes in from Astralis here, get some momentum. They definitely need the pistol again. Remember, they got both pistols on Mirage fins, and it still wasn't even enough for a very close game. It was actually felt very one-sided, albeit the 16-11 scoreline. So, we'll be kicking things off on Nuke. I think the first time, I think we've seen it at least on the primary stream. I don't think we've seen it at all. Maybe on the secondary stream it came through, I'm not sure. But a map that's still in the pool. It was announced today that Dust 2 is making a comeback and Cobblestone will be removed. I feel like, do you think it should have been Nuke, considering that we just don't see it played ever?
Yeah, I feel like it was either between Cobblestone or Nuke, but I suppose the fact that Valve has done a lot of work with Nuke lately kind of suggested it would be Cobblestone. What are your thoughts on Dust 2, actually? Because I'm not necessarily the biggest fan.
Dude, I'm so hyped for Dust 2.
Oh, you're hyped?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite map. Just in terms of the kind of gameplay it brings. I tweeted Carrigan earlier saying like his team must be very hyped the fact they don't play Cobblestone, and now they're getting in Dust 2, very much skill-based map. Whenever it was in the pool, we used to say, well, it's the deathmatch map, and now we kind of said that about Cash, but now Dust 2's coming back. Guardian, that's his stomping ground. That's where he does his absolute best work. It's very orb-centric, it's high-flying. Obviously, you've got the debate at the middle doors. I think it's a really fun addition having those. Obviously, it does lead to an opening pick being potential there for the T side, but that's what we call power plays, and the excitement it brings in the big stadium games, I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm so happy it's back. I like the current version. I played it a lot, and yeah, I think that's going to be a massive selling point for the next major as well. That's going to be so cool. But yes, back to this one. You can see the pistol round stats on your screen right now. Astralis with 8, FaZe with 7. I said FaZe did bring both of them to the table in the previous map. They're going to need those again to stand a chance here on Nuke. They can't go down 2-0 here. Albeit with Exist, obviously we have to take each game and tournament with them with Pitcher Soul now. It will take some time to get into the roster. As far as I know, they're not really changing up the roles at all. They're obviously waiting for Olaf to be ready to come back. How long will that take? Could be another couple of months or so. So what's the play here? Do you just accept that you're going to be weaker until he's back, or are you going to try and adjust things and think we can't just keep crashing out in quarterfinals? It's not going to be good enough. We want to be winning tournaments at this stage, but that's a conversation to be had another time perhaps, because it looks like we're almost ready to get into this one. It will be the 9th round first here on Nuke. Maybe not, there's no headsets on right now. So let's talk about the key players here on Nuke. Obviously Device with one of his textbook vintage performances there. That was just beautiful to watch. He's a great Nuke player as well. Orpers can do a lot of damage on the CT side of Nuke. Obviously outside is the main calling card, but he goes towards Secret a lot as well. He'll be going down towards lower. They've got great smokes on the Astralis side, little one-way smokes, little tricks they can use. So watch out for him. He'll be up against Guardian, who had some good rounds, to be fair, but overall, he couldn't really get the AWP out because they were so low on money and constantly force buying.
No, absolutely, and we actually saw him with the Scout a bunch of times as a result of that.
That was pretty spicy.
Where he was landing crazy shots. So it's not as if his aim's completely out of there, but he, as you say, just didn't have that many opportunities. Astralis were playing so damn good that he just kind of neutralized the entirety. Interesting on Nuke, with the change outside of the catwalk that you could actually jump from the silo and go all the way around into upper, that's now gave AWPers a little bit more freedom, because before there'd be more angles they had to watch out for. That's not really the case as much now. So I do wonder if the likes of Guardian really going to try and exploit that through outside. If we're going to see more ramp plays maybe with the AWP, because A site, not really where you want to be using the AWP up close and personal.
Yeah, it is true, and outside is always going to be a big talking point of Nuke in general. It's the main focus for the T side. That's why they'll be dropping their standard smokes. I mentioned it on Mirage. Consistency is key, really. You do want to drop those outer smokes pretty much every single round. You don't want to be dropping them when you're using them there. If you can drop them every single round, that means you can send sometimes one player down there, sometimes 4, sometimes 0. The CTs will have no idea, and they have to react to the smoke each and every time. So watch out for that. It's still played pretty much the same. We have had some changes done towards Nuke, most notably that the catwalk outside removed and the window in the hut no longer exists. Some lower changes as well. There's a few extra boxes to provide some cover for the CTs, defending for a lower attack, and of course for post-plant situations for the T side as well. It's still very much a CT-sided map though. There's nothing really balanced there. I think this is arguably one of the most CT-biased versions we've had of it, just with the removal of some of the access points for the Ts. Now if they want to get towards Nest, they have to boost themselves out, sort of one-man boost towards the air conditioning unit by Heaven. You can jump up there silently, but still, it's a much more difficult prospect than just being able to run all the way around from Silo, pretty much all the way towards Heaven. It does remove a point of access for the CTs as well. They have nerfed some positions towards CT spawn. It's more difficult to hold right back there. Some of the text has been changed, so you stand out a little bit more. You can't just sit in position and camouflage in. But the knife run, I think, has already happened, unless I missed that. Looks like Astralis is starting with the CT side. So that's a huge benefit to them. If anyone's not aware, starting on the CT side of a map like Nuke or Train, for example, is very beneficial. If you can post a really good number, let's say you get like 11 or 4, you know what you have to do on the T side. You can kind of change your playstyle up. You can start taking less risks in terms of your investments. You can just have a target to aim for. Do you need the force buy in the second round? Maybe not, because we don't need to find this round. We've got a bed available to us. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the second map of this epic quarterfinal, Astralis versus FaZe. They trail by 1 right now. They really do need their big names to turn up here as we get into it. 4 sets of armor for them. 1 HE suggests an upper rush with nading up the door. A couple of flashbangs available, maybe just trying to get down towards lower.
They go straight out, and Dupree continues to turn the heat up. Majors from the back of the site, almost spoilt for choice. So many players running at him, and Dupree's gone in for another one. This guy is on electric form at this point. Single-handedly keeping Astralis in this round, and he could go better. He hasn't been tagged yet. Plus, now they have Device, who's up in Heaven, and Zipex has taken down Nico.
No bomb planted yet, Vincent. This kill is absolutely everything. Zipex finds the bomb, and presumably the round. Assist has been good today, but that kill had to come through. Now they don't need to challenge him. They've got the bomb down in lobby, and is this with it all to do? Remember, no real nades won this round. He hasn't got an upgraded pistol. Glock armor, 80 HP short, and a lot of time remaining, but I don't think he has many options.
Time really the only thing that's working for him at this point. We can see Zipex and Device both holding down the angles. Even if Zipex dies to the hands of Exist, and you expect he will get counteracted very quickly indeed. Just checking his angles, making sure that he gets down the possibilities to as finer points as possible, but he has actually got the bomb and managed to charge off. This is where Dupree, though, should be able to just get rid of him. At the very least, he's going to buy up enough time for the rest of his team to get in position. And although Exist has got 1, he's run out of bullets and ran out of time.
It's not the start Nico wanted. His face says it all. No bomb planted means a force buy here in the second round from FaZe. Dupree, you're right, crisp as ever. I thought with the HG grenade, that would be made out the door, rush towards lower, something like that, but not the case at all. That was almost nothing. There's 1 outdoor, 3 out hut, and they got a couple of trades, but Dupree takes them down. There will be an auto shotgun. That's becoming into a lot of new games. We're seeing that more and more, actually. We're seeing players like Oscar use it a lot, and Pico used it as a weapon back in the day. I think he really started that trend. And as we get into the second round here, it's a force by Guardian on that scout again, but they've taken some heavy nade damage at the very beginning. Oh! It's just like play pigeon shooting here. Rain will answer the favor back, though. 4 on 4, and he doesn't recover the auto shotgun, sadly.
Must have been very close to diminishing his magazine, though, early. I feel like that may have been a last bullet that took down Magisk, and if he had to reload, he was almost guaranteed to be a goner.
There it is, he's got it.
Maybe hard to get the hell out of there. Still 100 health.
It's not ideal on the T side,
True.
but still, you never know, worth $900 a kill, so you might as well use it.
Guardian, meanwhile, using the very powerful scout, in his hands at least. Up on the silo, Exist, just chilling outside of Squeaky. Dupree is going to move in to position. I don't think he caught a glimpse of Exist there. He was just too far around the corner. Rain has gone in onto Dupree. Going to switch to the XM, and now the bomb is looking like it may get planted. Device also will now be using that scout for himself. They're okay giving the plant up, but now they've got to try and capitalize with some kills. And Nico's gone in for 2 Deagles. We wondered where he was in the last map, and maybe this is where he'll start to show himself. Device, though, 25 health, going to switch to his FAMAS. Knows where one player is, but it's all about Rain at this stage. Even if he gets the kill, Rain should get the drop on Device. And Rain's playing it so patiently, so passively. The bomb's planted for his position additionally, and Device seems to know where he is, but still Rain gets the kill. Oh. That game sense was phenomenal, but it wasn't enough.
That's exactly the boost I was talking about in the pre-game. You can walk around from main entrance, get towards heaven, boost yourself up. You can do it silently as well, but that shot, I think, pretty much won the round. Nico with the Desert Eagle finally showing us that he's going to arrive in this quarterfinal. Great round there from FaZe after losing the first pick to the shotgun as well. Because I do pretty much have overcommitted a bit towards the hut with the MP9. No one to trade with him, and he dropped to the CZ, and that's when things started to go horribly wrong. And we'll see the force buy from Astralis here. CZs and a scout exist. UMP, and there's the smokes we discussed before as well. One player down towards Secret, that's Rain. Only one AK. They do have the M4 as well in the hands of Carrigan. CZ, though, on the defensive side can be very difficult to overcome.
Certainly Guardian down to 2. Rain, speaking of the CZ, has been obliterated courtesy of Magus, who retains 83 of his health. So the early start of this round is certainly favoring Astralis, even though there's a couple of assault rifles in the mix and the bomb is starting to move towards B site. They're continually losing plays and accelerating rate. This is going to be incredibly difficult for them to clutch it out, but Guardian with his 2 health has gone in and will claim the frag onto Zipex. They still need to retrieve the bomb, and Glaven Decon is watching it. He's tapping away towards Guardian, still can't connect anything. This is so up in the air, Henry. It's anyone's round.
It really is. 45 seconds remaining. The bomb not recovered yet, but they're biding their time. They need to wait for a mistake to be made. Device watching the backlines. Glaive in the vents. 35 seconds here. Bomb recovered. That nade could do enough. Not quite. Guardian down to 1 now. The nade did touch him. That's insane that he survives. My God. And now Guardian looking like he wants to get the hell out of there. Exist does control the vents now, but how do they plan? Like I said, waiting for that mistake to be made. Guardian is getting the hell out of there. So 1 HP, 15 seconds, and he's going towards upper.
Device, though, he's a step ahead again. This guy will not be fooled, and Exist down to 27 will survive. Bomb plant to follow. Glaive slowly making a move up ramp. He's not entirely sure as to where that second pesky terrorist is. And you have to go back to that nade. It did literally 1 damage to Guardian. If it finishes Guardian off, this round may already be over.
I think it might be already, Vince. They've got no kits here, and Guardian and Exist are playing this perfectly. Good crossfires playing off each other here. Need to find this kill on the CZ. It's not going to happen, and FaZe have done it against all the odds. It looked like it was over. 5 on 3 to kick things off. A 1 HP Guardian. He had 2 HP, and the nade hit him. I can't believe that luck. And he's influential finishing the round off. He gets the bomb, sneaks down towards upper, Exist up the vents, and Astralis will be gutted at that. Glaive just has to save the CZ and armor, and FaZe fight to see another day here. Well, well, well. We're getting to round number 4. Should be the full eco now for the Danish squad. CZs won't be able to come out this time. They need the money for the next round. So just one. Magus will purchase up. $500 gone, but he's still got 2,400, so that's fine. One of the riflers. Crisis averted by FaZe, I guess.
It sure has. They have to make sure that they keep on the correct path, and Rain will steer them, shepherd them towards a 3rd round. No health lost in the process, just the 1 CZ remains in the armory for Astralis. And that's going to be taken off the table. Guardian and Carrigan both come in with kills in quick succession, and now Zipex up in heaven. We'll certainly be praying to the CS gods that the pain will stop soon. And he may have those prayers answered, because the next round they're going to have a bye, and it's not going to be too bad. But they've got to put some bullets to faces. Zipex not going to get it done from this range of the USP. Nade will find him, thrown directly from Rain.
Nothing really to report there. That was the full eco from Astralis. FaZe, though, this is what they needed. Remember, they lost that pistol. Had to work so hard in the second and third round, but they've got themselves a decent lead now. We go into round number 5. All power for Device, but it's at a cost. He does not have armor. Luckily, Nuke is a very long-range map, especially towards outside. Nade shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. Smokes will be. Needs to dodge those HEs as well. Right, lining up the smokes in towards outside. Okay, maybe trying to get out towards the vent here.
A lot of utility being thrown down by FaZe. Does allow them to get into the vent dive is a success. Carrigan with his Mac 10. 3 players without head armor will certainly have a target on their back. Meanwhile, Nico is just chilling outside, lining up the Molotov.
Probably for the huts. Could use it towards Nest as well. Shooting out the windows first, just to make sure nothing's in his way. And his teammates getting ready towards upper. Remember, Carrigan's down in the vents right now. And he'll just be patrolling the back line, and Dupree in front of Squeaky Door. Carrigan will try and do anything he can to take down Zipex here. Not going to happen, though.
Very important kill. Because while Carrigan is scurrying around, all it takes is for him to get 1 kill, and this round changes drastically. Dynamics. The bomb now dropped. An extra part of bad news for Rain, Nico, and Exist.
And there's that upper Molotov, but it's not really going to do much for them. They've already lost 2 kills here. It's down to Rain to try and get something done. He's going to find a guaranteed shot. There it is. Takes down Glaive. A kill for Nico as well. All of a sudden, this round's back on.
Looked like it was slipping and ebbing away. And into the mix that Dupree's gone down, and Astralis around they really needed to claim, and comfortably so due to the lack of funds, has gone from a 5v3 into a 3-on-2 against them. Device and Zipex need a kill, and they're going to get one. This now opens up the possibilities of trying to retake. They do not have a kit, though, but they have a flash. These are almost identical positions to where FaZe held earlier on, and Device will find Exist. Zipex onto Rain, and Astralis themselves now will dodge almost a horrendous loss.
Sigh of relief there. You could see it on Zonic's face. Yes, that was a 5-on-3, and it almost spiraled out of control. Well played by Device, though. Very patient towards main entrance. Managed to find the first pick, and you could see, ready and waiting. Zipex, calm as ever, does come around and find the final frag there. Plenty of money available for FaZe. Not really the same story here for Astralis, and the auto shotgun comes out again. We're going to see that in the hands of Dupree. And it will be made just on an SMG at this point. Device, first time with the open armor. So we'll see whether he can now open things up. He won't have Guardian to go against him. You don't need the AWP on the T side. Certainly can be a situational item as they go for a faster player. Looks like lots of grenades being thrown. And that auto shotgun waiting in the doldrums. As Rain gets towards Seeker at once again. Carrigan avoids the flames, but can't avoid the shots. Zipex gets 1, but good trade coming in from Nico.
Gets the information additionally, but the flashbang is going to allow the 2 terrorists safe passage down into ramp. Now they can make a move in. Glaive, though, will greet them, and these the kind of kills he was landing on Mirage, but now FaZe looking like they're going to shift up a couple of gears. Bomb planted, Astralis surely just going to save.
Well, they throw away the AWP and picked up an AK, and the Device suggests they're going to try and go for events. Unfortunately, Majors does go down straight away, leaves them in a 3 versus 1. There's almost no chance he did this. Might well consider getting that AWP now. He'll explore his options, but I'm sure he'll just go pick up the sniper and fall back towards spawn if possible. There it is. Oh, there it is. Press E. And go towards CT spawn, but he's got almost no chance of making it. There it is. Exist takes him down. Reset. For Astralis, that's either a force buy now or a full eco. Dupree Mages 1400. Even if they took a full eco here, they would still be eco into the next round. So you might as well buy up something. Dupree does spend all his cash, gets the CZ armor. Same story for Zipex. Glaive drops a scout for Device, I'd imagine. So yes, they have spent every dollar they've got. Obviously, Gamble Mages gets an M4A4, more than I thought. So here we go, another chance, but looking very good for FaZe, but maybe not for long. Guardian tacked down to 12 through the corner of the box there.
Certainly an uncomfortable start for Astralis. Expected them to run away with this. There's Device onto Guardian. Overstayed his welcome, peaked 1 too many times. Device is still in proximity to strike if he can spot anybody outside.
If they can win this round, Astralis, they're back in this game.
Yes.
That would be 4-3. It would be such a massive force buy for them. If they lose it, that's full eco. Things could spiral out of control. Good pick from Device. 5-on-4 now. Can't recover that weapon, sadly, but still have made this on the M4. One smoke available, and Glaive needs to be very smart here. He can't give his kill up for free. Needs to wait for a chance to actually be in contention for a kill.
Could be one of the first main fulcrum points of this map. And potentially best of 3, depending on how it goes. FaZe hot off the back of a disappointing Mirage. Glaive gets smoked out. Device, a flick!
It's nice.
Of perfect precision to Rain's forehead. His second kill of the round, and he's only lost 26 health. The rest of Astralis is very healthy themselves. And he could be on for more. If Karrigan goes for a peek, he's going to get caught from the side. And this force buy looking like it's going to work out, Henry. Magisk with another one, and now it's down to Nico. He's been playing well so far on this map, but he's been tagged to 30.
Nothing they can do. Clean sweep and Device with the scout. He doesn't even get all the headshots. He has to work hard for those kills, Vince. The initial tag on towards Guardian forces him to boost, nails that one, then gets the second. That was the flick. That was the lovely shot. And here's the reaction. Sonic's loving it. He's one of my favorite coaches just for how much he gets behind them. Proper dad figure there. And 4-3. Money starting to dwindle now for FaZe. Look at all the AKs picked up for Astralis. They're right back in this game, Vince. That was massive. Bit of a gamble, but it works out for them. Scouts in the hands of David, though. He's going to be trying to find some more. Nico, though, probably knows that's the case, and he's got a guaranteed frag towards main. Takes down Glaive. Dupree, though, guaranteed kills himself. Can't quite find a double. Back and forth we go. 2-on-2 begins.
In a blink of an eye. 6 players die. And our Guardian, one-on-one trade, will come out second best, courtesy of Zipex. Nico, again, last player alive. 9 for 6. Top fragging for FaZe. Refinding some form here on Nuke. And this would be a hell of a string to his bow, but Zipex is going to cut them short. And 4-4 we score. And FaZe actually fully invested in that round. They don't have any savings left.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They've got about $2,000 there. Wow, okay. Astralis looking like they're going to be having a bit of a resurrection here. It was looking dicey when they were 4-2 down with the force buy in their hands, but now they do have the rifles out. No more scouts anymore, Vince, and they're up against pretty much full eco. 3 Glocks, 2 P250s, and maybe some outside pressure coming in. Like we always say, even on the full ecos, we can bleed out some utility from the CTs. Cost a few $1,000s still if you can just take out some of those incendiaries, smokes, nades, flashes. It all racks up and could equate to an eco later in the half.
Certainly what FaZe are hoping for at this point. Guardian down to 50. Nico not too far behind him. Just gets tagged at the third of his health. Device will finish off the rest of Guardian. Looking for a second and maybe a third, but intelligently, after that dink connects, he doesn't want to peek too many more times.
He does use the smoke to get in a cheeky little corner there. 5-on-2. Device tagged up, but Nico and Karrigan both with Glocks. No armor, no nades. I don't think there'll be much to write home about here, unless they somehow sneak down towards lower, but cancel that. Zipex is there like a turret. He'll at least be guaranteed 1 kill, and indeed the second.
And never going to get past him without a fight. However, FaZe will have a bye now into round 10.
Indeed. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, first map was absolutely stunning, wasn't it? Some of the plays Astralis are making, 16-11 in their favor. This is now their map pick. Rough start, but they've stabilized. It's 5-4 now in their favor. 130,000 people watching this epic affair. It is a classic rivalry. Back in 2017, this was one of the very best, as it just will be posted towards upper, waiting for any sort of aggression. The thing is on Nuke, it's not really one of those maps where CTs can go for opening picks. They can challenge towards hut. If you go towards ramp, though, you are going to have CTs with AKs, sorry, Ts with AKs waiting for you. Outside, you can give it a go, but it's best just to play defensively, especially if you don't have the orb.
Well, what makes this another part of a very riveting rivalry is that both these teams have been jockeying for position over who's the best team in the world for quite some time now. They're all up there. Well, this could be maybe partially answering that. Magisk and Zipex. Karrigan and Exist are both destroyed.
Yeah, Zipex gets 1 kill. He's still alive, and he's taken Rain down to 19. Rain just has to be sacrificial at this point. He'll go in. It's a double kill. Oh my goodness, Zipex, that was beautiful. He schools them in the ramp room. Most players get 1 kill around, fall down. He's there for the whole thing. He wants everyone dead and repositions in towards the corner. They don't even check events. They didn't use it to flashbang. And you can see that's the first kill. They think, oh, he's probably gone down towards lower. And that's the mind games. No one even looking at it. And he gets 3. So well played by Zipex. 6-4, money gone again for FaZe. It might be a tactical timeout, and indeed, Karrigan has called one.
Cool, calm, collected, and it also shows that not only is he trying to mind game the opponents, but he's so confident in his own ability. It's like, I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to kill you all by myself. There's nothing you can do about that.
Well, Karrigan and co looking phased themselves, and I have to work out what's the play here. CZ's PD50s, not the most tantalizing purchase, but always possible with the CZ. You never know. We're number 11 now. Still happy with 5 rifles here. Money's getting strong for Astralis. 11k on Zipex after the reinvestment. 7 for Device, 5k on the remaining 3. So they've got a couple of buys in reserve. Shouldn't be needing one soon, though. This is just pistols. The Glade caught out. Not taken down just yet. Somehow recovers that to get 2 kills.
A bit fortunate on that second kill that Device had already tagged up Exist, so only 1 bullet was required. The rest of it will fall into place. And keep in mind as well, Henry, this is all off the back of that force buy, that roll of the dice that they end up picking up.
I absolutely agree. That's why I wanted to make such a massive point of that. If they'd lost that force buy, they probably lose this half. That was so influential. A gamble, but the stakes couldn't be higher. They managed to pull it off. And here we find themselves at 7-4. That was another eco from FaZe. They have the AWP available for Guardian, but still players struggling. Guardian, no utility whatsoever. Another timeout from Karrigan. Like we said, Exist has only been in this roster, I think, less than a month now, kind of hovering around that point. Nuke isn't a map that's really played all too often. They wouldn't have focused on this one. They didn't want to veto it. They wanted to veto Overpass, and that's fair. Astralis look lights out on that map right now. They obviously don't play Nuke that much themselves, or at least we don't think they do. At least at the big tournaments, no one really plays it. So you're just kind of taking a gamble and trying to remove the massive Overpass risk. AWP out though, same story for Device. He'll be using that towards outside, of course. Not going for the full commitment, just sits by the CT box, hoping he can find them. 3 AKs on the CT side, just to note. That's not great, Nate.
Oh, no, not in your head, mate.
Right. Takes less damage than I thought.
Yeah, that literally landed on his face.
13, all right. Well, seems like that's fine. Not ideal, but it's fine.
Could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
Not going to cost Astralis anything for now, at least. Device wiping the shrapnel off his face. Will throw in the Molotov to outside. Rain flashing over, but no one's pushing behind it. The smoke's not ideal either. Device can still see. In terms of secret, that is, but it's going to be a closer peek. They're trying to fake. Very well played by FaZe. Trying to drop that first sniper shot, allowing Raze to move in, but then Dupree and Zipex destroy everyone.
He came behind them on the silo and just completely destroyed everyone, Vince. He's done it. That's insane.
And that could be all she wrote for round 12. After another tactical timeout. Exist. Oh, he's landing headshots. He's still got 78 health. And he actually has more health than the rest of Astralis combined. But they have the bomb, and that counts for a great deal. And 25 seconds additionally. And he has to push out his smoke.
Any other variables want to throw in there? It's not looking good, I think is what Vince is trying to say here. Exist will be left, yeah, in a very difficult spot. 78 points of health, but now 10 seconds is the bigger factor. He still needs to find that bomb. It doesn't look possible. They're throwing incendiaries on it. He's like, please, going to have it. I've got to go. I've got to go. I can't stick around. And there we go. Dupree, please we get a replay of that. That sounded so good. He comes up the T ladder, I assume, and comes behind them. And it's just so, these are sometimes the hardest kills. You've got so much in front of you. Wow. But as soon as Zipex found a shot, so did he. He found multiple ones. And that could be the end of the half. This could be FaZe not picking up anything else here. 9-4 is guaranteed with the CZs coming out again. Maximum loss bonus. That's the last 6 rounds in a row for Astralis. That's why they've picked this map.
6 in a row and 7 of the last 8. Zipex on a ramp. There's just too many players swarming in. It is FaZe with a very weakened Guardian.
They've done it.
Is that going to be enough here, Henry? I mean, Astralis may think twice about it. They do have plenty of funds in the bank. We're getting towards the business end of the half. They must realize they've done a lot of damage, though, to FaZe. I can't see how Zipex wouldn't call that.
I think you might be right. They definitely go for it. They've got plenty of money here. 5-on-3, knowing they've got the pistols. They have been tagged up. Karrigan, though, does find another. Maegis has got his work cut out for him as that bomb ticks away. 4-on-2. Maegis, will he commit? At this point, might just want to guarantee that everyone goes down with the blast. Still a slight chance they can win it if Device can find an opening. Going for the wallbacks now. It's getting a bit desperate. The incendiary on top of the bomb pretty much secures their fate. But like I said, trying to take everyone down with him. Device will try and do just that. And I think he succeeded and will keep the AWP just about. So that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. Great effort there from FaZe to actually get towards lower. They do find the initial shots, and sometimes that's just the way it goes down. The CZ can find opening kills, running, gunning towards ramp, and Zipex got nothing. It can be just a very frustrating weapon to play against. And if you're fast enough to get down towards lower, no one's got time to rotate through. And you can see, tagging the repositioned player, the CT trying to get behind the bomb side silo, finished off with the M4 as a 5-on-3. No player survived for FaZe, so at least they don't let them keep any money into the next round. Trying to reset them right here.
Oh, Spray is going to claim the kill into Glaive. So outside has been hindered. Hamstrung. Astralis have Device and ramp this time. They have switched the positions after Zipex got rushed down in the previous round. This does mean, however, that Device doesn't have his AWP presence outside anymore. So he feels pressured to go looking. If he continues this pursuit, I was going to say Karrigan could have him, but Device, of course, he's just so switched on right now. Nothing's going to get the better of him.
That's exactly what he wants to do there. Managing to get the answering frag. His teammate dies to a fast pick from right outside. He goes towards ramp. The reaction comes through. Throws one smoke down, picks one up off Karrigan's corpse, and he can fall back now, and he might want to reposition. But Dupree's been such an animal outside. Let's see whether he can find Nico. You can see they're ready for him. Next kill going to be absolutely massive. Dupree strikes, can't find the instant kill. Repositions, takes down Nico. Zipex with his work cut out for him, drops the smoke to give himself cover, and he comes back through. My goodness, finds the bomb through the smoke, and this round is falling apart for FaZe.
35 seconds for Guardian, witnessing all of his brothers die around him. And he only has his sights set on saving the AWP.
Remember, that's why I said it's so important they took all the kills in the previous round. Sure, they won't get to win it, but now this reset comes in, Guardian's got no choice but to save the AWP. Zipex, that was so intelligent. The fact he smokes it through, then spams it as they're setting up the grenades in the hand, the bomb goes down, it all goes wrong, and let's hunt Guardian now. Flashbangs going in, do not let him save the AWP. He just has to cower in towards spawn, and there's nothing he can do about it. AWP goes down, everyone from FaZe is dead, and that's money gone once more. Looking for that 10-5 scoreline. Astralis looking poised to do just that.
Yeah, simply put, FaZe are broke. Flat out broke. They're going to have CZs, going to have a few nades, but really nothing else. The last time they had this, they rushed ramp. I wonder if we'll have a repeat performance.
Just to look at the scoreboard, Karrigan 2-13. In-game lead for Glaive as well. For Astralis, Glaive 4-9, so they're struggling, but the CZs are not. It's back and forth again. And it will be Glaive to give them the man advantage.
Incendiary has damage written all over it, so Exist gets the hell out of there. Gonna rub that name off it. Throws in his own Molotov for good measure. So FaZe have done a decent job of at least securing A for the time being. It's going to be a bomb plant, of course. It's the last round. It doesn't matter a single bit to Astralis. They just want this retake. AK's been picked up by Karrigan. Does have Kevlar to support it. And a flashbang going to connect, but Karrigan will not. His woes continue. 2-14. He will fall. He had a good first map. Hasn't been working out for him here. Exists. Spam through the wall. And that's going to be the 10-5 half. Astralis really bouncing back after a very poor start.
Yeah, the start was not ideal. They won the pistol, sure, but then lost to the CZ force by. You can see on your screen right now how that transpired. 4-2 down, but then, oh, that epic streak. There was just such beautiful CS. But before we can get to the second half, we'll throw it down to Stunner on the tournament floor.
On the tournament floor, thank you very much, Mr. Greer. Now, I'm here with Luca. He's come all the way from Belgium. This is your first event, yeah? How do you like Marseille?
I think it's a beautiful city, and that's a very big event, and I love DreamHack, and I will come next year.
Yeah, coming next year is important. Obviously, an Astralis fan, can they close it out right here?
I think it's the best team in the world.
best team in the world. Strong sentiment. If you agree, perhaps you tweet right at me on social media. That's right, @Stunna or hashtag DHMasters, or just both. Either way, Mr. Greer, Vin, and Hin, take it back, boys.
You've got to plug yourself sometimes, Vince, haven't you? You've got to get your Twitter out there. He's up and coming, but fair play to Stunna. He's hustling up there. So there it is, an avid Astralis fan says the best team in the world. The way they're playing this tournament, Vince, I wouldn't doubt that, actually. I would say in terms of everyone else looking pretty shambolic right now. I think of SK, and obviously they're playing FaZe right now. All the other big names dropping like flies. Cloud9 are gone. Mouse Sports out the tournament. This could be the next big team in the world.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you. And Glaive even said himself, he feels like he has way more firepower than Magisk, and we're seeing that.
Yeah.
It's being shown. Even though he hasn't had the greatest best of three, he hasn't been needed. Device and Dupree have been astounding.
There it is, the first kill from the man himself. It will be Mages to find Rain, 5-on-4. This pistol could be a death sentence for FaZe if it goes against him. Mages keeps delivering headshots with the Glock. Bomb should be planted now as Carrigan. This is a nice flank, but the door is closed. How does he make the most of it? Another dink comes in, that's Device. I'd say, yeah, let's get down towards lower. You've got the rotations coming through. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be amazing. That's going to be the round, Vince. That's over. Glaive with the final kill, and you can see how much it means to Mages. He did a lot in that round. 3 kills for him. I think he got another dink as well. 11-5, 4-5 for FaZe, and this was the opening frag. Rain, he has not had a good time in this best of 3 so far.
Mages just cracking the site open single-handedly, no support required. He moves to 15 kills, and again the kill difference apart from Glaive again hasn't really been needed. The other 3 players only have 3 kills separating them. There are 3 players over 14 frags.
Well, the force buy does come in. It worked for them in the first half. Gonna need it desperately now. Lose this, they're going down 13-5.
On CT side of Nuke, with an inform Astralis breathing down your neck.
This is the best looking Astralis I've seen since they won the major. I'm gonna say that.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Nico. Well, it's just not been his day, has it? And he will burn to a crisp. Meanwhile, Glaive going to get that UMP, ripping through some CTs. Rain with 2, not going to get a third. Dupree makes sure that his hack trick is not on the table.
Yeah, it's just that CZ that makes me laugh. Just like, you just know, well, that's a guaranteed kill. Like, he's going to beat the AK here. No problem at all. But that's the way the game pans out sometimes. Guardian trying to save the scout, 13-5. A nightmare start. Remember, if you force buy in the second round as well on the CD side, it doesn't mean your first gun round is going to be safe. You're going to be limited. I think Guardian went all in as well. Did he get dropped the scout? He did drop the scouts. He's still got $1,000. But they're going to be not going to have all the incendiaries, the kits. Maybe some players have to go down to shotguns or SMGs. We'll see. Plan for Dupree. There it is. And that's going to be the round. Guardian will just try and hold on to the scout at this point. He's holding at the back of the ramp.
Certainly makes a lot of sense for him to do so. Probably his best weapon. I'd actually be really curious to know how many kills Guardian has picked up with an AWP in this best of 3, because it feels like it must be below 10. Maybe even less than that. It doesn't seem like he's had any impact at all with the AWP. Scout, however, he's got quite a few kills with. Not really going to chase him down either, Henry. They're okay to let him have it. They don't lose any more weapons.
They know he's got a scout. It's just survive at this point. People will check out T-Spawn. They'll check where they can. There's just so many little crevices for him to hide in. Everyone survives in terms of the 3 players up. 11, now 12-5. And you can't really purchase around the scout, I'm afraid. Guardian, well, he can't go outside. That's the problem. It's too obvious. He needs to go towards maybe ramp or go for the first pick and have. He goes outside. I'm just not going there on Astralis right now. I'm not going nowhere near it. I'm going to do something fast towards upper, perhaps. That's what I'd be calling. Nade out the door. Let's send 3 out hut. 2 squeaky. Something like that, along those lines.
They are going to be stacking ramp, FaZe, and leaving Guardian outside. And Astralis, they're going to throw down a couple of mollies and flashes, but the bulk of the aggression, as you anticipated, going to be heading to A side.
That's all you want to do. The scout useless there. Smoke off heaven. He's out of the game. They will rotate through, and Apex could be called out. Why he's from that angle with the grenade, I couldn't tell you. And that's going to cost him his life, I would say. Indeed it will. Gets 1 kill, fair play. Device runs back. Should be a very concise round in the end. A bit problematic for Zipex, but that's fine. You want to focus on upper just to avoid that scout. 13-5. They're already a map down phase. It's not looking good. Money's not going to get any better either. Around $4,000 a player, 4.5K. Guardian can afford the AWP, but he cannot afford armor. So smoke's coming in, no kits, and Nico looks dejected at this point. They don't seem fired up, and I guess it's rightly so. It's hard to really get into the game when you're already a map down 13-5. First gun round, you can't even be fully equipped. Exist goes for the FAMAS. Nico, one smoke, that's it.
Astralis just 3 rounds shy of securing their spot in the semi-finals. We'll see who they play against a little later on in a Swedish derby. But focusing back onto this game at hand, Guardian with his AWP. Going to be counteracted by Devices, also going outside. So we are going to have that spicy confrontation perhaps taking form pretty shortly. Both looking around the same area, just Devices propped up on top of the smoke, and Guardian.
Nice shot.
That must have been a flick because his CORSAIR was consistently outside looking past red container. I didn't see from his perspective, but I assume that was quite a sick kill. Either way, it's great news for FaZe. Although they've only got 2 flashbangs left, and Carrigan's been forced out of ramp. Now Guardian's going to make a move around. He flicks on to Magisk. Bomb gets dropped down.
Yeah, this is great stuff from Guardians. Carrigan doesn't need to be part of the conversation whatsoever. You've got a 5-on-3. Guardian's got ramp covered. I really don't think that was the play that was required at all. Luckily, there is another player there. Rain will get 1. Should be enough at this point. Not if Zipex gets a kill for the smoke, but Glaive is crated. Where did that happen?
What happened?
Was it from the silo? I'm going to have to go check it out. You cast Vince. I'm going on an investigation mission.
Sure thing. Detective Henry's on the case, as is Zipex, but he's only got 22 seconds to find the clues he needs to solve and crack it. And it seems like the answer may be A. And both of FaZe are still down at B site. They're going to stick together. It is an opener for Mass to try and get rid. And they're still looking at B. They seem to have thought they were still B site for some reason. Now they're going to move in, but it's going to be a stalled attempt, and Zipex is going to pounce on this. Exist is going to slowly come up as well, and Zipex pulls it off.
What a way to finish it as well. Zipex makes him look foolish. I'm sorry, but they're going to be thinking, well, there really was nothing we could do about that. We stayed in towards lower for way too long. Zipex has got upper. He's already got that kill. I think Glaive must have run into a Molotov in the vent. I think that's what happened. He was in there and maybe dropped into it. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter, Vince, because Zipex plays it to perfection, and it's 14-5. FaZe are having to buy here. UMPs for Matt CZ, and this could be the end of the game. We will see. Round 20. My goodness. Astralis are looking sensational right now.
They're making FaZe look like an ordinary team, and they certainly aren't.
Yep, absolutely agree with that.
Guardian answers back on to Dupree. Glaive's down to 2. Make sure you don't make the same error twice.
I think that's what's happened, because the thing is in CSGO, it doesn't show you when someone's died to a Molotov, but it does when you kill them with a UMP. Carrigan, headshots there, and flurry of kills coming in. No scope, not going to connect for Device. Glaive and Mage is very low, but they have got the advantage again. Carrigan's had such a poor map here. Currently sat on 6 kills, 18 deaths. Got to find 2 players and presumably defuse the bomb. He has lost track of them completely. In terms of the plant, Magisk is down towards lower right now. He will be having an open bomb site. Carrigan so far removed from this situation. It's pretty unbelievable. They will plant in the open. That should be round. I'm honest, Vince. Carrigan a lot to do, and Glaive is just waiting there for him. As our photographer's getting ready for the winning moment, you feel like it's coming. And we'll see whether this is the round. Number 21 for Mass, UMP. Oh, just such a budget buy here. And we'll see whether this will be enough. FaZe need 10 in a row to keep them in the game.
That is the mammoth, monumental task ahead of them. Device, Molotov, going to stop him from pushing out of Squeaky. He's fine with that. He wasn't going to anyway with the AWP. Zipex will pounce on the vulnerable Nico. Guardian, see if he can get some damage done outside, and it's not going to happen. And it's looking more and more likely like FaZe are going to be knocked out, and Astralis will move towards the semi-finals. But hold that thought for a second, Henry. It's a 2-on-2.
Carrigan and Rain have to do absolutely everything they can with this one. Even this might not be enough. If one of these players goes down, and even if they win the round, they'll have no money again. Astralis high rolling. Still a minute to work with, though. Magus with the bomb, plenty of utility. This kill pretty much decides it. Magus doesn't check it. They might be going down. He does. Carrigan can't find the shot. What a play from Magus. How he adjusts and keeps calm under pressure there is absolutely amazing. dupreeh knows where Carrigan is. This could be the kill to do it. He'll be coming round the back tracks. Carrigan has no idea, but he has got vision of the bomb. dupreeh needs to land 2 of these shots, and that's it. 16-5, an absolute battering, and he's done it, Vince. He's going to be toying with him a little bit.
This.
Not the knife! No! dupreeh, what have you done that for?
If FaZe come back now, it's good they've all got smiles on their faces. Zonic certainly doesn't. He's done.
Why would you do that? Vince, tell me why. Tell me one good reason why you don't kill him.
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
I don't have one.
I hate it when people do that. It's not cool. You haven't looked like a baller. You look like an ass. Oh, dear. Oh, no. I'll be trying to say, oh, yeah, nice one, mate. Really funny. But please, could you just win the game?
Later on, someone needs to give him a dead arm. Just a good stiff jab to the arm for that. You assume they're still going to win, but it definitely puts a dampener on things.
That was a really epic way to finish it all off. Nice kill, 16-5, put it to bed. Epic performance.
You ain't no config.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. Let's leave that alone. On the stage, let's not do that. Group stage is sure, let's have some fun.
Because it's last round. Like, you often say, oh, knife, you get loads more money, it's worthwhile. Last round, come on, dude. Just get the kill. Either way, Guardian with 1 gets traded out. It's not a great buy either for Astralis. Rain from the backside with 1 and a second. Another 2v2. This time, dupreeh's not alive, and Rain has made sure the device will play no further part, and it's Carrigan again in another clutch.
Okay, Magus this time spots him up, trying to do the damage of the CZ. Getting a little bit awkward now for Carrigan. He's going to land on him, not quite. Magus has got the bomb. He'll go towards lower. Is he going for the long con? I thought he wanted to go towards main entrance there. What's the play? Drops a smoke. We'll just try and plant inside it, knowing that Carrigan can come from the ramp. Actually, just takes the risk. He says, you know what? I'm just going to plant the open. Noise made by Carrigan. He'll go out the back of the vent.
Sure will. If he goes through the front, though, oh, that timing actually helps him. But for how much longer? Magisk, it was delayed by dupreeh shenanigans, but they get the job done and they move to the semi-finals.
Oh, thank God for that. Sigh of relief from dupreeh. Everyone can smile about it now, and we'll just move on from that one because it was an epic performance there from Astralis. Really enjoyed the whole showing there. Mirage was excellent. They lost both pistols, still won 16-11. Nuke, difficult start as well. They were down 4-2. But look at the overall score. That could have been 16-5 if it wasn't for his tomfoolery with the final kill. Just to reiterate, that was a guaranteed frag. He wasn't moving. He wasn't waiting or anything. He wanted to have a showboat, and fair enough, why not? It did win in the end. So we'll give him that, and it will be Astralis making their way to the semi-finals. Got one more quarter-final today. The Vince, can we get some closing thoughts there on Astralis?
They looked fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think FaZe played their best. Let's not get completely carried away and say that FaZe were like firing all cylinders and this was just like the next level play by Astralis.
Sure.
But Astralis made them look like a really poor team.
They did, and unfortunately we did miss key performances from Rain and Nico, especially on Mirage. But there it is, Astralis looking like they could be taking the entire championship. That's enough from us. We're going to throw it over to the beautiful boys on the desk.
Thank you so much, boys. You can take us a little bit of a breather there because though it may have been slightly one-sided, you guys were enjoying that as much as we were. That was Astralis looking great.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much. That's Henry and Vince. I'm joined by Sean, Gaz, and none other than Yanko. I don't know really how we're going to be focusing on this one. I guess we'll start from the very beginning. We had a bit of a FaZe prediction on one side of the desk, and I decided to talk through what you were expecting and what you got, Yanko.
I was just expecting them to play better, right? Individually and especially as a team, to iron out some of the mistakes that we've seen in some of the previous games. And what we got is the opposite. They played even worse individually. Nico, especially on Mirage, was missing in some of the crucial moments in the game. Rain as well. Those guys have been the hard carry so far, with Guardians dip in form because he was playing at such a high level early on in the year. And on the other side, we have Astralis, who just continued on the same level. We've seen them so far in the tournament. Just great individual and team play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at Mirage, when Exist has nearly double the ADR of Nico, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, and Glaive did an excellent job of holding the A bomb site. We saw Zip win clutches across both maps, but on Mirage, he had a really cool one after a B exec. Astralis playing loose, like Yanko said pregame, so they did a really cool strat actually on like round 14, where they had Device actually look for a kill out of Palace all by himself, gets a kill on the ticket guy all by himself. They mid-game back to the B bomb site. They were all over the place that half. I was thoroughly impressed with what I saw this series.
Yeah, I do think that Nuke is actually more interesting. I'm sorry, I'm giggling about the Dupree knife. It's already at the top of my head, but I know it's not really too much to be discussed. This is it, look! Look!
Kerrigan's face.
And though it's
Sonic
Sonic
is just like, why, please? He's losing his mind behind. But yeah, you look at the scoreboard. Yes, of course, Zipex had a couple of big clutches, high on ADR, Device, Dupree, but again, everyone had their moments, like when we were talking about Gambit versus Cloud9, and that's how, you can overcome opponents like FaZe, and you look at them, poor performance really across the board, but mostly Nico stands out. He's supposed to be the star of this team, especially with all of Gone, and that he has more room to work with.
Absolutely, yes, indeed. Astralis have got themselves a semi-final spot. Glaive has got himself a final spot, and we do, of course, have him joining us now. Semi-finals, dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to get to talk to you straight after that match, because first question has to be, you've played against FaZe many times. What do you feel, like how do they compare without Olof?
I think they got a little bit worse. I wouldn't say it's because of Exist individual level, but it's just like the whole team just feels a bit more not as comfortable playing.
Disorganized?
Yeah, a little bit more disorganized maybe. At least I felt like in the game that they did some weird stuff that normally I didn't see. They didn't rely as much on their aim as they used to, and maybe just not feeling as comfortable, I think.
A question from the desk in the pre-match where we were talking about the veto. Now you guys went for that, of course, ballsy float of Cobble against FaZe, but also this Nuke pick. Was that kind of the game plan going in, was to try and get them on Nuke?
Yeah, we were thinking about picking either Overpass or Nuke against them. They lost some maps on Overpass as well, but they decided to ban it against us, so we then decided to pick Nuke. And I think it's just a really comfortable map for us right now. People are just hitting a lot of good shots, and we just understand the map pretty well.
A question from Sean, you got anything?
Yeah, good. So I have a question. So in round 14, I actually just talked about it. You guys smoked window and top mid, and you basically try to force the guy to come towards the Palace peak where Device was holding with the AWP. And then he plays loose and comes out and he actually frags the ticket guy on Mirage. Is that something that he calls, like he wants that freedom, or is that something that you guys have designed? Because we were actually giving you guys credit for playing that loose style a lot more lately.
So yeah, sometimes I call it, but this time around it was Device. We have been focusing a lot about both Dupree, actually all the guys taking more initiative in the beginning of the routes, because it makes my job so much easier when Device says I want to go A house and pick the guy in middle. I say okay, let's delay the smokes so you can get the frag. So it's a combination of both.
Is that where we're seeing Glaive at the top of the scoreboard more? Is that because do you feel more free to frag now?
Yeah, I just feel like I play much better individually. Of course, not on Nuke, but I just think I have become a better player individually in the last year, to be honest, and I can really feel it right now. So I think I frag a bit more, and also the other guys, when they take the initiative, like you said, it helped me a lot.
Yeah, so much fun to watch you guys play at the moment. Yanko?
Yeah, I have a question also about Mirage. It seemed early on your T side, you were going for a lot of set executes early, in a sense that it seemed like you wanted to have as many after plan situations as possible, as many clutches. Was that targeted? Did you feel like they are a bit uncoordinated at the moment, and that even in 3v4s with the bomb down you have the advantage?
Do you think about Mirage here?
Yeah, Mirage.
Yeah. So yeah, we were thinking about set executes because we know that Rain likes to play CT a lot, and if they play defensive, they are playing really heavy on middle. So we wanted to exploit A little more. So that was the game plan from the beginning, and then we just had some mind tricking going on with going to the same bomb site all the time because we thought they would stack the other one and such. So I think it went really well.
First things first, nice save, mind tricking. I'm going to remember that one. That was good. And last question before I let you go celebrate with your team. Dupree's knife. You're on 15 rounds. He pulls his knife out. Zonic's got his head in his hands. What words were exchanged after that round? How did you just quickly get everyone reset and just say, let's get 16?
Like I was still thinking about me dying in the Molotov
okay.
for my own Molotov, so I didn't even see it. Now, like, it was all right. I even said to him and try knife him, and then you realize the crowd going crazy, and then Karrigan just doing a 180. Yeah, it was just unlucky, but I like that he tried it.
Okay, because I know our casters and analysts were just sitting there like, doing this versus FaZe is scary.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Glaive. I guess we'll let you go.
Thanks.
Oh, I am loving these interviews.
Also forgot to congratulate them on actually putting the headset on right. You know, the mic was in the right position. Nothing was going on wrong, you know.
Well, you know what? Seized has another jab tomorrow. He did get to the semi-finals, and that was another great game. Honestly, we are being treated here in Marseille, truly. Let's kind of get into a bit more of our general understanding of what we've learned from this game. FaZe eliminated here in Marseille, and I don't think that there's too much to really complain about. We expected them to not be operating at full capacity.
Yeah, I think the problem for FaZe is it's obvious at this point that they are not as confident as they used to be with Olaf, and that's a big problem for them because the way they play, as Glaive pointed out before, they would take more aim duels, right? Because they had the players for it. You still have the players for it. I mean, yes, Olaf is not in the lineup, but Xist has shown that he's very much capable of doing his role, so it's up to guys like Nico, Guardian, and Rain to keep playing the same way and find that confidence again. And yes, potentially, and this would apply even if Olaf was here, FaZe does need to add more discipline to their game. They've been losing some silly rounds. Both of these maps, FaZe had control early on, and then they lose 2 clutches on Mirage, 1v2 to Zipex, 1v2 to Glaive, and they lose the anti-eco on Nuke to the Device triple kill with the Scout.
Yeah, madness from him, and he's keeping that Scout into the next round as well. Real ballsy stuff. Now, Yanko, you do have a drawing boards for us. I want to know what you're breaking down.
Sean mentioned Device on the T side. I saw him do something cool on the CT side. Just watch him on the minimap throughout this round. So he starts off in connector, tries to go for an early pick there, doesn't find anything. Also take notice of the B bomb site. FaZe trying to put early pressure then there with 2 players, Guardian with the op. Zipex calls that very early on because Guardian fires off a few shots, and you can see Device rotating there to put himself into a good spot, obviously with the help of his teammate. With some pop flashes potentially, and now he's in position. He sees that they're falling back. He goes for an even more aggressive play, and this is where he gets the first kill of Guardian. What does he do after that? Immediately rotates towards the other side of the map, because simply Device understands that that's where the power is of a single opera on the team. You always keep your opponents guessing. They might be thinking, oh, he's on B, maybe we have a better chance of going A. He repositions, and he's going to end up getting 2 more kills in this round towards the end of it. Fast moving a bit forward, he just holds a passive angle towards B and gets great timing on Terrain, who's trying to flank. So Device for me is the favorite and probably the best opera in the world when it comes to rotating on the CT side. Even within 1 round, as we saw right now, but also in between rounds in the beginning of the round. And if you're Karrigan, you're thinking, okay, he used to be here. It's very difficult to predict where he's going to be, and it makes it much more difficult for you to make the right call.
So a follow-up question from that is something that a very genuine question from someone that likes to occasionally try and play CS as well. Device doing that, undoubtedly impactful, Sean, but what I don't understand is, does that mean that there's just, you know, normally everyone has a dedicated kind of part of the map to be watching? I guess that, like, does that just mean Device has complete freedom? He can go where he wants, or is it about swapping responsibility?
No, yeah, so you're right. So it is very difficult to pull something like that off. You have to have full team coordination, and, you know, his team understands when he leaves and enters spots what's open. So there's a lot of protocols that Astralis has across the maps, and that's why they're one of my favorite teams, because what they do isn't easy. It's actually very, very difficult.
To not leave holes, not leave gaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, absolutely. And it looks so good. Thank you so much, guys. This has been fun to talk about. Before we do go, though, I've got to go ahead and remind you. Now, I've been talking about this digital pass. Now, of course, you know how to get that. The information will be beneath me as I talk about this. There's also a giveaway going on. So not only do you get your multi-view experience and all of that good stuff, you get exclusive content, you also get to go ahead and get this rather gorgeous backpack. In fact, I asked the guy, I was like, does this mean I get to keep this one? Or apparently not. Apparently, there's only one of these in existence. I'm lying before I get told off. but use the hashtag. This is how it works. You basically have to go to Twitter and use the hashtag DHPM18, and if you're part of the Digital Pass, you can get yourself a free backpack. So there's a little extra juicy nugget for you, and I've got even another juicy nugget, because coming up after the break, another game of world-class Counter-Strike. We get to see the Swedish affair. It will be Fnatic versus the Ninjas. You can see Draken there, and the rest of the boys getting themselves set up in the booths, and Fnatic are going to be taking them on in a full best of 3. Lots of bad blood and rivalry there, and I can't wait to see it unfold after the break.